I hate this. Why do I have to have this thing orientated that way? I'm not interested in that. Why can't YouTube get it through their head? I don't know whether people are chatting or not. All messages are visible. If someone's watching me, type something. Okay, let me put some stuff away. This is another going down memory lane thing. Here's examples of how I showed what the inside of a pen is like. By making it a three-dimensional sort of drawing here. And I turned it into a skyscraper with the Hindenburg landing on the blind cap of the Vacuumatic. How else did I do it? I did it like this, like you're dissecting a frog. That was kind of fun. One person is watching me. Who knows who that person is? There was another pen tip I did. The cross-section of this nattily dressed gent shows the conditions to which his fountain pen is exposed as he carries it on his person. He mustn't forget that he is a heat-producing agent, whether be at the gym lifting really heavy things and putting them back where he found them over and over again, sitting quietly at the office planning corporate takeovers, or digesting the lobster thermidor he consumed with relish at the power lunch. The heat he radiates makes its way to the pen and, more importantly, ink, as it expands, bubbles, and boils. Some may flow to the nib, inner cap, The inner cap, though perhaps flooded, will protect his expensive silk shirt. To prevent this, move the pen outward. An inner suit coat pocket is better, but why not throw caution to the wind and make a fashion statement? Wear it on the outside pocket. Choose the pattern of the scarf carefully as not to clash too violently with the subtle chasing on the pen's barrel. Nota bene, a black hard rubber pen is especially vulnerable to heat and perspiration. It fades to a rich, deep umber color at best, or a drab putty green hue at worst. In both cases, its surface shine is lost. Ehu fugaces labonatur anni, whatever that means. Who speaks Latin in this group? So here you see it. I ask people when I would show them this drawing. Here's the original drawing, actually. I asked people, what time was it that this man was sawn in half, put on the belt saw? So here's his Parker 51 with either gold-filled or sterling cap with the zigzaggy signet cap band, is what that's supposed to be. Here's his skin layers. Here's his boiling 98.6 degree body. Here's his undershirt, his shirt pocket. There's the pocket. There's his vest with lining. Here's his suit coat with lining. Here's his top coat with lining. There's his squished carnation, smushed as it is. There's his lapel of the top coat. There's the lapel of his jacket. His vest doesn't have a lapel. There's his button of his coat, his top coat, and the button, of course, is secured by a button on the inside. Anyway, so here's his pocket watch, sawn in half as well. So what time is it? The big hand is on the 12, the little hand is on the 6, and the second hand is on the 30. So it's 30 seconds after 6 o'clock. Thoughts? No thoughts. What else do I have here? Here's other ways I drew the inside of a pen. Here I have the cap cracked open. Here's the section, inner cap, nib. This showed a sack being depressed. Here's, again, the same thing, except drawn better. The crack of the inner cap and the outer cap showing that part. That's the important part right there, that the inner cap is making a seal against the section. See it better here maybe. That way this compartment will be flooded without getting onto your suit. Here was an initial sketch I was doing for I have a demonstrator snorkel, an original factory made for me, a pen repairman, or for the woman that owned the pen shop before I bought it, and something that they did not sell to the general public, but they provided to the owners of the pen store to show how clever their snorkel system worked. And the snorkel is so overly built. It's just, throw your pen wiper away because it will suck ink through its little snorkel system without getting the point covered in ink. That was the point of this nonsense. And consequently, for this pen to work, it needs 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it needs 5 rubber seals to make it work. One's here, a round O-ring. I think there's one here too. There's a little rubber washer back here because this has to be airtight. Then there's inside of this thing is a rubber sack. And this has a rubber gasket And I think there's another one. Someone will have to explain it to me better. Someone will know how many they have. But that turned into this. These drawings. One, two, three, and again, you don't see the gaskets in here. And that eventually turned into I guess this was the finished drawing. This was a thing I did for Pen World again, and I'm not quite sure what article that was for. It's probably just something I wrote myself about some aspect of pens. I have another couple drawings about how I would draw I'll just keep them in here. So here's a hacksaw slicing a pen in half. Here's a pen being peeled like a banana. And here's another pen that is opened up like a frog. Evidently this was glued onto some other piece of paper and I drew the anatomy, but again, I can't remember. I love showing the work that goes into a finished drawing. How, you know, the drawings on napkins, or scraps of paper, as you develop an idea, turn eventually into a finished drawing. And often seeing the drawing in sketch form as you're working out the kinks explains to you how an artist's brain functions. And when you see a painting in a museum, the artist has worked out all of his kinks, and you see a quote perfect thing on the wall. And I much prefer seeing the sketch rather than the painting. I see more. There's more stuff for me to enjoy, I think, in the sketches, the preliminary sketches. I'm just looking at how I drew the spiral here. Boy, is that ever bad. This is better. Here, you see the spiral working in perspective on the way back. Here, you would see that spiral would look differently. Did I fix it for this one? I fixed it for this one. Yeah, you see the underside more. Can I put all of this back now, do you think, without... I have these, many of these big albums that where I display the work that goes into a piece. And I enjoy taking them out and looking. I haven't looked at these things in years. And it's kind of fun to go back into our memory lane, which I'm doing here. And I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. It's kind of fun. Here's a point counterpoint. I wonder what this one was about. Here, this pen, it's either Peter Markman or myself, where this one is using the pen as a device, as a tool to kill the animal, and here the other person, whether it be Peter or me, probably Peter, is just looking at the pens and not using them, and he's going crazy. I don't know. Is that what that is? I can't remember the article. There was another one that we wrote where he was talking about point counterpoint was about using a pen. Oh, it was Peter who I asked Peter, is a lawyer, what pen do you use at your desk when you're working? Oh, I use a ballpoint. I always use a ballpoint. He talks very quickly, and somewhat in a staccato voice like that. Oh, I use a ballpoint. I always use a ballpoint, Pierre. Always use a ballpoint because I don't have time. I don't have time to uncap a pen. And I thought, what do you mean you don't have time to uncap a pen? Use the desk pen. Oh, they dry out. They dry out. No, they don't. So here I have Peter as a Reynolds ballpoint. The first ballpoint that was made, the Reynolds Rocket. And all his muscles and his... I changed the Everlast to Neverlast. But he's wearing his bike jock strap underneath his shorts. So he's making a point and I'm making a counterpoint, and I'm lean and I'm skipping my rope, and here's my little jumping up and down with my pen nib. And I'm an idealist, so it's not just mother that I have tattooed on my arm, it's motherhood. And what kind of pen am I? I guess I'm a Parker dual-fold of some sort. And the article went on to describing which pen works better, the ballpoint pen or the fountain pen. So, sure, boss, I'll flatten him, says Peter. Rude, brutish, and beefy though he be, it wouldn't be sporting to be too hard on him. And I say, that's my coach with me. Not to worry, I shan't lay a glove on the lad. So it shows, essentially, the article. And Peter and I, we didn't talk about the boxing. We talked about other aspects of the ballpoint. So here's our sparring. So Peter started here in this corner, and has this little wayward. The thing about ballpoint pens is you're writing using a oily ball caster at the end of this pen, and your hand gets tired out because you're pressing down hard to make it hold still or go in the direction you want, and it pushes underneath you, behind you. So you actually, Pierre Gustafson, get writer's cramp writing just a single address at the post office. If for some reason I have to fill out a duplicate form, I'll use a ballpoint pen. And my hand just hurts after one address. And if I'm taking notes and pressing down all day long with my hand would just, fall apart. So here, Peter's trail is moving waywardly, whereas my trail is calligraphically going back and forth. And here it shows me giving Peter the coup de grace, I guess. Peter's coach. Or maybe this is Peter, and this is me. We are the coaches, and we have the Reynolds rocket against a fountain pen. So we always were depicted as Parker 51, double jeweled Parker 51s, and here Peter can't bear to see his guy get flattened, and I'm reading Proust and finding it thrilling. The number 2 pencil is the ref. I like how the 2 looks like his upper and lower teeth. You sort of have to squint. And his rectangular eyes. Yeah, I used to be clever. I don't know if anyone commented on anything. Do I have to look to see what people commented on? I guess I don't know. But bye, everyone. How do I turn this off? How on earth do I turn this off?